Hi everyone. So I thought of helping all of you in your journey towards quantitative finance. So every week, at this similar time, which is Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'll be keeping a 1 hour session. 30 minutes of the session is, I presenting, different materials on quant finance, and the rest 30 minutes will be you all asking different doubts, whatever you have in this journey. So let me share my screen quickly because I have some materials to present. So let me know if you all can see my screen. Just give me if you can write in the chat section if you can see the screen or not. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, like let me share my journey first, and I have certain slides. Like I have few slides to show all of you, and then I'll be more than happy to take any doubts whatsoever you have. Okay, so let me start. Okay. Okay, first of all, who am I? Why I'm doing this, or what's my education background, what's my working experience. A lot of you know me through my LinkedIn, a lot of you know me through my YouTube, but people who do not know me, let me introduce myself. So hi, my name is Mehul Mehta, as you see. So I'm a quant. I'm in this space for more than 6, or I would say more than 7 years. Coming back to my education background, I did my electronics engineering from VIT University, Vellore. Now, like when you are an electronic engineer or any engineer whatsoever, it's very tough to transition into controls or risk related roles. So, how did I do it? So, I was lucky enough to get an internship at PwC in their risk and regulatory department. It was a 6 month internship. So as soon as my internship got over, I got an PPO from PwC in the same department. So initially I was working on certain credit risk projects, and thereafter I started working on market risk projects, and that's where I got to know about the term quant finance. Back then there were no resources, nothing much. People didn't even knew what is quant finance, or only people, lot of my partners, they knew what is financial engineering, what is quantitative finance, but not many colleagues of mine knew. So that's where I decided, there was a lot of gap between my understanding. Like I was working on several projects. Now these projects involved a lot of Monte Carlo simulation, a lot of stochastic calculus. I, coming from a electronics background, I definitely had a good handholding of different mathematical subjects such as linear algebra, calculus, probability theory, statistics. But I didn't knew stochastic calculus. I didn't knew portfolio optimization, how to manage a portfolio, a lot of other things, right? That's where I decided to pursue a master's. I came to United States where I'm right now. So I did my master's in financial mathematics from North Carolina State University. First of all, there are different terms being used: financial mathematics, quantitative finance, mathematical finance, computational finance, financial engineering. A lot of different terms. It's the same. If someone asks me what's the difference, I would say it's just the same. Only thing that would differ is one or two subjects here or there. So if someone is saying, oh, I did a master's in computational finance, just understand that one or two subjects would be more heavy on towards the computer science side. If someone says, like me, I did my master's in financial mathematics, I had certain subjects which are very heavy on statistical side or mathematical side. So that's it. Otherwise, it's all the same. Thereafter, after graduating, um, I had couple of offers. To be precise, I had 6 job offers back in 2022. Selected Regions Bank. There I was working as a quantitative modeler, and right now I'm working as a manager in a brokerage house in United States. So that's quite about my profile. I love modeling. So you might have seen I teach a lot of quantitative modeling projects in my YouTube. So that way I really love this field and I'm very passionate about it. So that was all about my background. Now, what is quantitative finance? A lot of people, we have, I mean, different definitions out there. Some people say, oh, only, specifically in India, I would say, I've heard that, a lot of people think only people from IIT Bombay, IIT Chennai, all top IITs, I would say, can only make into a quant finance. But I would say that is not the case. In United States, United States is considered as the benchmark for anything. So in United States, I have seen people transitioning from BCom to quant finance, chartered accountant to quant finance. If you don't believe me, go check out my YouTube channel. And I have certain podcasts recorded which says how have people transitioned from BCom to quant finance. So first of all, this is quite possible, even any background you belong to. So coming back to what is quantitative finance, I would say it's a discipline which is made up of five different subdisciplines, which are mathematics, statistics, finance, economics, programming. So let's say if you're an engineer like me, we are good with mathematics, statistics, and programming. But what we are not good at is finance and economics. So that's the two discipline that you have to learn. Let's say someone coming from a commerce background, you are good with finance and economics. So what you have to learn? You have to learn mathematics, statistics, and programming. So none of us knows everything. All of us know some part of it, and that's where the leftover part we all have to learn. And that's where this session will help you all to grow in life, at least in the quant finance space. So, to just to summarize, what is quant finance? Discipline made up of five sub-disciplines: mathematics, statistics, finance, economics, programming. So, if you combine this, all of this is what quant finance is all about. Now, what are certain core areas of quantitative finance? A lot of people think that, oh, let's say, oh, if I'm good with mathematics, I'll be great. Or I know, a lot of at least a lot of freshers I talk to, they say, hey Mehul, I know Python, data science, machine learning, can I be a good quant? The answer is no. Because see, what you are doing essentially, you are working with the financial markets. Financial markets are big. You need to understand the finance part of it, the mathematics part of it, the statistics, and a lot of economics and programming. So essentially, coming back to the previous, it's a combination of all of them, right? So what are the core topics? So one thing which I want to let all of you know is, if you think that, if I know Python, I know data science, I know machine learning, I'll be a great quant. No, that is not the case. Because if that was the case, a lot of you would already be a quant and not a machine learning engineer or not a data scientist. Definitely, if you know all, Python, data science, machine learning, you will be successfully able to transition into quant finance. You already have a good hands, because you know programming, you know how to work with big data set, various machine learning algorithms. But that does not mean that you are a quant. No. So first thing is, if you know all of this, that's great, but that does not make you a quant. What makes you a quant, or what are certain topics that you all of you should know? See, engineers, we already know probability statistics, calculus, and linear algebra. But if in case you are not an engineer, you come from a commerce background, that I would highly suggest all of you to learn probability and statistics, calculus, linear algebra. These three to four are most important subjects. Stochastic calculus, derivatives, programming, time series, machine learning, portfolio optimization, management, fixed income, financial risk management. These are the topics, or these are the subjects that every quant should know. Now this does not mean that you have to know all of this, but at least basics of all these subjects you should know to become a good quant. So if you see, when I say, okay, machine learning, that's a good thing, because at least you have covered some part of quant finance. But that means you do not you also have a lot of other parts which is still pending to be covered, right? Derivatives, right? If you go for any quant finance interviews, derivatives is their favorite topic, fixed income is their favorite topic, talking about stochastic calculus is their favorite topic. So point I'm trying to say is, definitely it's a very big field. Till date, I'm learning so many things. I've been into this field for 6 7 years, but till date I'm learning so many things, right? So this is just to give you an understanding that, if because this is one doubt that I receive maximum time, that I know machine learning, can I successfully transition into quant? Yes, you can successfully transition into quant, but then you should have certain projects which are related to quant finance. If your whole resume is filled with only machine learning, chances of you getting an interview is very small. But if your resume is filled with all this different projects of this different topics what you see on your screen, that is where you have a very high chances of getting an interview. But like, see, the idea is, the first session, which is this, This is just to give you an understanding. Don't get overwhelmed, because I know a lot of things you might not know, which is totally fine. A lot of, actually, because when I started, I didn't also remember calculus or linear algebra, because when I started, it was already been, I was 3 years outside my graduation, and that's where I decided to pursue my masters, right? So a 3 year I was just working. Definitely, a lot of these concepts you forget at times, so it's totally fine. That's why the session is just to help you grow in quant finance. But just to give you an understanding, these are the certain core subjects or core topics that you should know in quant finance. Okay. Now, a lot of times people ask me how to start with quant finance, or what's the best way to start with quant finance. I'm absolute beginner. I don't know anything. And also the issue is, a lot of times, I feel, at least in India, people are charging crazy money, 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, even more, just to teach quantitative finance. And I find it so frustrating, because I'll tell you why. Because the issue is, I see someone doing something on the screen. Please don't do that. Okay, let me erase this. Whosoever it is, I request not to do that. Okay, so now okay, I guess let me change the group setting then. Okay, perfect. Okay, so books to start with. I would say, if you are starting your quant finance journey, this is the book which all of you should read: Options, Futures, and Other Derivatives by John C. Hull. This is actually considered the Bible of quant finance, not just in USA, but in most of the countries. When I started my journey, I didn't knew. Arvind, I see Arvind doing this. Arvind, please don't do this, what you are doing. Yeah, please don't do that. So, okay, coming back. Yeah, this is a little frustrating. Okay, so coming back, how I started my journey. Back in 2018, there was no knowledge for quant finance, right? There was there were no resources out there. So what I did was, I started I first of all, I spoke with a lot of people on LinkedIn, and that's where I got to know that this book is the best book to start with. So if you don't know anything, this is the book you should start with. And if you read this book, I'm telling you, you would learn so many concepts which are being asked in the interviews. Okay, you will learn so many concepts which are being asked in the interviews. So first of all, make sure you understand this. Okay, make sure you buy this book, you go and complete this book. If you see certain topics that I've mentioned: forwards and futures, hedging, call and puts and payoff, binomial tree, Black-Scholes model, Greeks, these are the questions that are even asked in the interviews. So this is, I would say, if you want to start, this is the best book to start with, because this will help you grow in the field of quant finance. Okay, I guess, is there any issue that people are facing in joining the? Okay, let me. I'm not sure. I have not limited any capacity, I would say. So I guess few people. Okay, let me increase. Okay, I see some people want to join, but they are facing if difficulty in joining. Actually, I have not changed any settings, or to be honest. So let me check. Is there any way, do all of you know, is there any way to increase the limit? Because I've not set any limit. Yeah, I have premium. Yeah. I have Zoom premium. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not sure why is that happening, but yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, let me check once if I can do something about it. Oh, I'm not sure why it shows I already have a paid plan. Okay. I'm not sure why is that happening. Choose meeting with. Okay, let me see. Go to Zoom. Yeah, let me go back to my settings. Okay, let's continue because yeah, continue. I asked ChatGPT, but yeah, seems like some issues. Yeah, not sure why, but no problem. Let me share back my screen. Okay. So, coming back, I would say this is the book which all of you should read because this is what helped me in my journey to grow as a quant, and I'm sure this will help you in your journey. Now, let's talk about different roles. We all hear about quant traders, quant researchers, quant developers, risk quant, model validators, but what are they? See, I would say quant traders, people are mad about quant traders because they get good salary. But understand one thing, getting good salary is one thing, but the amount of work, the amount of knowledge which is required to be a quant trader, it's tough to get. But what does quant trader do? Basically, they develop and implement trading strategies. Okay, let's say you have some trading strategy, right? Or let's say, this trader comes with a trading strategy. What, let's say that, oh, I think XYZ will work in the market. So this is they try to develop some strategy. Okay, now what quant researcher will do, they'll basically test the strategy based on the historical data. That's the best way, right? That's the best way. They'll test the same strategy based on the historical data. Let's say quant researcher gives a green signal that yes, the strategy is working, this is a good strategy. Quant developer, what will the quant developer do? Basically, quant developer will use C++ or Python to basically develop the infrastructure for that algorithm to be in place, so that and that's where a lot of high frequency trading firms and trading firms, they hire quant developers because essentially they are just developing the infrastructures. Risk on, what does risk on do? They basically understand what is the risk in the trading strategy that you are about to execute. Because see, trading is one thing, that's good, that okay, we as a firm we are trading, but it's equally important to understand the risk in what you are trading, and how much you can blow up, right? And what does model validator do? They basically helps. What does model validator do? They basically validate all the quantitative models which are developed so far. Okay, so basically this is just a quick overview of what quant do, or what quant does. Again, just a quickly to summarize it: quant traders develop or implement trading algorithms. Quant researchers, they build pricing, risk, and forecasting models. Quant developers, as I said, definitely they develop the infrastructure for models and strategies. Risk quant, again, understand the market and the credit risk. Model validators is just to review the model or challenge the model if they find any mistakes. Okay. So now this is just an example to show you how quant traders, quant researchers, quant developers all align up to build something in a trading firm or high frequency trading firm, or even in any financial institution, right? So quant traders, let's say, a quant trader came up with a strategy that let's buy the Apple stock when 10-day SMA crosses the 50-day SMA. So this is the trading idea or trading strategy that a quant trader thinks will work in the market. So this trading strategy will be given to a quant researcher to test, okay, whether the strategy is effective or not. So quant researcher will basically test the strategy effectiveness using the historical data, whether the strategy was a success based on historical data or not. And if it was a success, then definitely there's a green signal. quant developer, he'll basically use Python or C++ to basically, perform backtest, and of course to automate the whole thing. You know, as I said, risk count, it is just they are they are in place so as to understand what is the risk in general in your portfolio, in your trading strategy, whatsoever. And model validators, as I said, they'll backtest the results. They'll check if if the model is, if whatever model you have in place, is it good, is it bad, is there any is there any shortcomings for the model, lot of those areas. So, based on, this is just an example of how, a trading strategy, how quant traders come with a trading strategy, what's the role of a quant researcher, developer, risk quant, and model validators. Now, this is, I know, like, it's been already a few 20, I guess 20, 25 minutes. So I would say this is my LinkedIn, and I'll just stop this session because in the very first session I want to keep it light. I don't want to overwhelm all of you, but this first session is just to make you all understand. Every week we'll be doing this session, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your doubts. So I'm stopping the screen and I'm unmuting all of you so that you can ask your doubts one by one. Okay, let me unmute all of you. Okay, please ask your question one by one. Just raise your hand and just go one by one to ask your question. Okay, so I see Sohail Parvesh. Sohail, please go. Can you speak, Sohail? Uh, I did unmute all of you. Okay, not allowed. Okay, just give me 1 second. Can you check? Yeah, now I guess you can unmute.
Hi. Good morning from my side, from
Good morning.
India.
Yeah.
So, my first question I wanted to ask you was, see, I am also a engineer, mechanical engineer to be specific. I have been a researcher. In my bachelor's, I have published a peer-reviewed journal research paper, and right now I'm working with Mercedes-Benz as a pricing engineer.
Okay.
So, what I'm trying to ask is, being in college, how did you land? A EY or PwC internship being an
Right.
electronics engineer.
Okay, so here is the thing. Getting an internship in quant finance is very tough, right? So I started with
Correct.
market risk. I actually started with credit risk, then got transitioned into market risk, then got transitioned into quant finance. But the question is, how did even I get an interview? That's where I would say, the good part of what I did in my college days was I was reading this book, John C. Hull, of this book, Options, Futures, and Derivatives by John C. Hull. So in the book, right, there are a lot of topics, a lot of projects being mentioned. So what I used to do was I used to search the topic online on YouTube and basically replicate the Excel spreadsheet or whatsoever was there back in
Okay.
2016, 2017. Okay, there were a lot of videos back then also. So I just used to replicate those
Okay.
projects and used to list down all those projects in my resume. And that's how I got a call. So make sure if you want to transition into quant finance, make
Okay.
sure you work on a lot of projects and add those in your resume.
Like I'll tell you this. Like for example, right now I am in for example Mercedes, right?
Yeah,
So it's a very good company.
right.
But I'll tell you, I'm not from a target. Like I am from Tejpur University, which is a central university, but it's not target like as in BITS or
Which
IITs
is
or
fine.
top
See, right now, start with consulting. A lot of consulting firms like EY, PwC, they hire people from tier one, tier two, tier three, all universities. Only thing is, if I ask you today, what kind of skill set do you bring on the table for quant finance? If the answer is, oh, I just bring one skill set, then of course, for them, taking
Now,
you,
suppose I say right now I have been studying for like the good couple of 6 to 8 months. So I have a good grasp of suppose say right now what I have gone through is firstly I've gone through derivatives pricing and
okay.
secondly I've gone to stochastic calculus. Nothing else right now. So that that background I have, but I
So
am not sure.
Yeah. So one more thing I would add, I suggest you to do is start studying fixed income, start studying machine learning, portfolio optimization, and management. That
Machine
will
learning
help
is
you.
already there. I have completed my certifications from IIT Madras, but I am not able to get back like a word back from the recruiters. My projects are there. Is it like I have to add a Git repository, or is it like
Add it, add it. No, add it. What's the harm, right? You see, make sure. I don't know why you're not getting interviews. I have worked with a lot of Indian students. All of them have gotten interviews.
I
So
don't know for
something.
some reason because I have worked mostly in product based. I have started with a product manager for a printing company.
So I'll stop you there. Because there are a lot of people. I'll just take one doubt per student. The
Yeah, sure,
answer,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
the
I
answer is please work on a lot of projects. Add those in your resume so that the interviewer can call you.
one last thing I need to ask: how many projects should be there in the resume? That's all.
Depends on depends on the role, right? If it's a derivative pricing role, add all the derivative projects. If you think the role is more on fixed income model, add those projects. If you think the role is more on trading, add machine learning projects, add projects on statistical arbitrage, right? So it depends a lot on the kind of role, but make sure you have like 2 to 3 projects for every subject that I showed you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mew.
So who's next? Yeah, let's take more people. Okay, so I see Kritesh Keshwani. Kritesh.
Yes. Hello. Hello, May.
Hi, Kritesh. Kritesh, I cannot hear you.
Hello. Is my voice
Hi, yeah, hi,
audible?
Kritesh. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Mayul, for the insightful session. I just wanted to ask, like, I'm a commerce student currently from Delhi University. I'm in my final year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in 10, 11, 10, 12, I didn't have maths. I was just from commerce stream.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward, I wanted to know, like, is there any particular certification the recruiters look for, or maybe just it's the projects they are looking for? Should I pursue a master's degree for a quant role?
Yeah, master's degree will definitely help you because specifically you are in India, you are based in India, and you are from a commerce background, right? I would highly suggest having a master's degree will definitely help you grow in your career. But having said that, make sure that you know the basics of mathematics, you know the basics of this linear algebra, calculus, statistics, programming, because that is something that will stop you from getting a good role in quant finance.
Okay, and like certification courses can help, or maybe like professional courses, CFA, FRM,
That would
will they?
help you more. Pursue FRM, I would say, not CFA. Pursue FRM. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Kritesh. Yeah,
okay.
I'll
And
jump on the next student because I'll just take one student per one doubt per student.
okay,
So yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so
Can
I
I
see
ask?
okay.
Yashvardhan Saraswat.
Yeah, hi Mayur, how are you doing? Good
Hi,
morning.
Yash.
Yeah, so I had like one question, like I'm like a college freshman, I have some basic Python skills and like I wanted to focus on like wanted to ask what should I focus on learning? Like should I focus on like the finance part or the technical part so as to prepare myself for like the next summer in terms of internships?
Right. I would say, see,
Uh,
finance definitely. So you belong to a commerce background or engineering
no,
background?
no, I am currently in University of Maryland. I'm a freshman. It's my second
Oh,
semester here.
okay. You are in US. Okay, welcome. Oh,
Yeah,
good to see you. So you see, the thing is
yeah.
definitely, I feel in if you're in US specifically, I would say focus on all because because you are in your undergrad, I would say a lot of people have gotten quant internships even when they were in their in even when I've seen a lot of juniors getting into.
Yeah, there are many people who've
Yeah,
gotten into boutique firms here. So yeah.
exactly. So I would say just read the book John C. Hull. At least in US,
Okay.
I can guarantee you that will get you good roles out there. Yeah. So
Okay.
start with derivatives, start with fixed income, start with risk management, Python, data science, machine learning. Definitely you should know. But
Yeah, I'm doing the Krishna course which you told.
yeah, that is good because Krishna, because that will teach you Python, data science, machine learning. But when you go for interviews, they expect you to know more finance stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would highly recommend to learn derivatives, fixed income, and risk management. Highly recommended.
One second, I'll just summarize. So derivatives, fixed income, and risk management, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Yeah.
Mule, I had a question.
So
Like
no, no.
I'm
I'll just go one by one. Please don't, just raise your hand and I'll go one by one. So I see Soumya Chaudhary. Soumya.
Hi, Mehul.
I
Thank you a lot for having us.
Yeah.
So I'm currently pursuing mechanical engineering. I'm
Mm-hmm.
in my fourth year. So my doubt is like I am specifically targeting quant developer roles. So I know computer science fundamentals and mathematics required for it, and machine learning. So I want to know how much of the finance side should I focus on. And one thing is like how to like get myself shortlisted, just considering that I'm not from CS background and I don't have a master's.
But are you good with computer science concepts?
Yeah, I know operating system compilers, these things.
I mean, but are you able to solve lead code questions?
Yeah, yeah, I do lead code and
So
build
I
tests as
would
well.
say, see, so then I would say you have a decent chance, right? Make sure like you do a lot of projects related to quant finance. See, I'll tell you how the system works. Let's say if you are aiming for quant developers, where are quant developers being hired? Most of the time, it's being hired by high frequency trading firms, or let's say this trading firm or prop trading firms or whatsoever, right? Or sometimes even in banks, or in some cases, sometimes for banks. I would say HFTs or trading firms are mostly dealing. They want people who have good idea about the infrastructure, whole infrastructure. So not just you are able to do the uh, basically solve lead code, but also understand the trading infrastructure. So I would say add a lot of projects related to trading because that's what you are aiming for. So that's where I would say add a lot of projects of trading, because you using those projects you will get an interview, and in interviews they'll ask you about your concepts of computer science. So as you said, you are able to solve lead code questions, so I feel like you'll be able to crack it, but make sure you are able to solve like medium to high lead code questions.
So you talked about HFTs, like how to and whom to approach for that, because in college I am not going to have it.
So go on LinkedIn, right? I mean, see, are you based in India or United States?
I'm in India.
So, okay, at least so in India, we don't have this concept of reaching out to recruiters or applying off campus, right? But in US, like all of us, we apply off campus. I know this is not a concept in India because lot of firms they come to our campus in university to hire. But understand one thing, a lot of firms open their, people like let's think about a trading firm. If it's a small trading firm, they might not be able to go in a college and recruit. So what they do is they open the application on LinkedIn. So make sure go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed, go on monster.com and apply. Use ChatGPT so as to get all those jobs and then apply for all those jobs.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right, Samir. So I see Akshay Shreyasta.
Yes, that's me. Hi, Mehul. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for hosting the session today. I am a master's in data science student at Columbia Engineering here in New York.
Okay.
And my question is more about your view on like the future of quant finance. So you know how like the LLMs and like AI is like really ramping up the tech space. So where do you see like the future of like quant finance and like the next like 5 years and 10 years, and like how do you see like the AI space like taking AI like taking space and like changing and like revolutionizing the quant finance industry?
See, definitely, see, AI is being used, but just think, right? AI is being trained on data, right? It's trained on past data. But what
Mm-hmm.
if it's not capturing some events, let's say COVID never happened in the past. It's not being captured by AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something like that, I would say, I would say quant finance, it's all about financial markets. Financial markets are big in different countries, different markets, right? Different asset classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say even for 50 years, next 50 years, it won't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Modeling will remain the same, techniques will
Mm-hmm.
remain the same, understanding of finance will remain the same. It's just that the tools will change. You will
Right.
be more sophisticated in understanding the financial market, but the core concepts will remain the same. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say next, it has a huge lifespan, so don't worry here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Aksha. So on my list, I see next Ajinkya.
Hello, hi.
Hi,
Good
Ajinkya.
morning.
Good morning.
So, do I need to have all the core area knowledge of what we have discussed earlier?
See,
Means probability, statistic, calculus, linear algebra, and somewhat machine learning. I know,
okay.
and but not about finance. So there any specific like data science in finance role there in quant finance or companies?
See, definitely data science is being used for controls, but just having data science will not make you a quant, right? If that was the case, then every machine learning engineer would be considered as a quant, or every data scientist would be considered as a quant. But that is not the case, right? So what essentially,
Mhm.
so you already have a strong background, right? What essentially you have to learn is derivatives, risk management, fixed income, stochastic calculus, portfolio management, and optimization. Of course, it's very tough to have all those in your plate, right? So that's why I'm saying start with this book, John C. Hull, this book, Option Futures and Derivatives by John C. Hull, because that actually covers core parts of derivatives, risk management, and stochastic calculus. So you will already have a lot of pieces in your plate, and which you can offer to an interviewer or any company. So maybe these three things I would highly say to focus on. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of course. And if I am targeting quant developer role in India, can small courses of NISM like research analyst and equity derivatives will help me?
No, because
What's
for
your
quant
take on
developers,
that?
no. So that won't help you because for the quant developers, what essentially they will test you is your knowledge on C++. Okay, so that
Mhm.
would doing a equity trader certification would not help you in any way out. So I would highly, I would say that if you want to target quant developers, focus on your knowledge of computer science. Focus on the architecture part of it. Talk to people who are already working in the trading companies. Understand from them what the role and responsibilities of a quant developer look like. If you're not able to
And
talk to them, look out on LinkedIn. What are the key skill sets that are required?
and what kinds of projects I need? If I
Again,
have developed any small prototype like Miss Algo trading,
see,
if
algo trading
I
is good.
create that,
See, algo trading is
will
good.
it help?
Yeah, Ajinkya, algo trading is good to
Mhm.
have, but you need to, as I said, you need to talk with people because see, I'm not a quant developer. I'm more like a quant researcher or a quant analyst kind of person. I don't know C++. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Neither I'm interested in learning C++ because I'm a modeler. I'm not a developer. Okay, so someone who comes from a developer background will help you, but a lot of my friends are developer, and what I know from their experiences, they have been asked C++. They are being asked about the architecture of how trading works. So that is something that will help you from a resume perspective. Have a lot of projects in your resume which include C++ or anything like that, and that will get you an interview.
Yes, yes, yes,
All
of
right.
course.
So
Yes,
I'll
thank you.
move. Yeah. Thank you, Ajinkya. So I'll move to the next person. I see Trush Tal Talvia.
Yeah,
Hi, Trush.
um, thank, thank you, Craig. Thank you for giving me an opportunity for asking it out.
Yeah.
So I've just freshly graduated out of my high school, commerce student without maths.
Okay.
And the thing is, I'm going to pursue bachelor's in financial market. That is a BCom specialization.
Okay.
You can tell me if something's there to improve or some other course I should pursue. But the main question is, the course includes um, option derivatives, pricing, and fixed income and all that stuff in complete depth. So the thing is, should I change my learning path according to it? Like this book, John C. Hull, and all that. I'm currently reading the Dummies one. So
Dummies is equally good. Okay, quant finance for dummies is equally good. But I would still recommend go to John C. L because that is like considered as a Bible.
yeah, that's the point. But I mean, how I should think of it is like what things should I simultaneously take? Like the Krishna Nayak course and this book, and should I go simultaneously or in one go?
I mean, if you have time, go parallel, right? If you, let's say, have time, right? Let's say you are working on something, you do certification, right? Certification courses. So that will help you, I would say.
I
Yeah.
will.
Um, yeah. So moving on to the next person, I see Priyanshu Jain.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Priyanshu.
Yeah. Sir, I am a BTech second year student from ECE department,
Okay.
and I have interest in quant finance. But so do I have to first learn all those topics of the finance that you have mentioned, or simultaneously I have to learn the machine learning and data science also to get an internship or enter into the quant roles?
The Python data science machine learning is like general, people know it. Everyone, applying for it, they just know it, right? So a lot of people, they already have machine learning projects in their resume for stock prediction, volatility prediction, getting understanding the buy ask spread, something like that. So they already are a lot focused on machine learning. So if you don't do that, you're already lacking behind. So I would say for sure do Python data science machine learning, but at the same time what we engineers do not focus is on the I would say the finance part of it. Learn derivatives, learn fixed income, learn risk management.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, Priyanshu. So I see next is Jamish Patel.
Yeah, hi Mehul.
Hi Jamish.
So I have been following you for 2 months and I really love your efforts on how you are spreading the awareness. So I had just small doubt that there are many universities in US like UIC is good for providing internships while you are pursuing the course. But NYU has a good name and it has a very big batch, so that's a downside. And there's Columbia, it's Ivy League. So there are many universities there, and I'm pretty confused that should a person go for like things like professional internships and everything, or go for a big name like Ivy College, something like that? So, what's your take on this?
See, definitely big names help you get internships. I'm not internships, but at least interview call. No one guarantees you an internship. Even if you see Columbia's placement, only 58% of them got placed inside the country, which means almost 42% got placed outside the country. And if you're getting placed in India, there's no sense, right? Because
Yeah.
you paid like $100,000 in United States, right? There's no sense of it. So, okay, so I would say, of course, definitely two things, two consideration. One thing is all the Ivy Leagues, you eventually end up paying $100,000, and this is just for education. If you're coming with loan, that becomes even more burden. So I would say if that is the case, target all tier two universities like Georgia Tech, NYU Turner, North Carolina State University, University of Washington, Stony Brook, Rutgers. All these are good universities to be in because this will also help you get a job. Okay, if getting a job is the idea, or coming to US and studying from a good university is the idea. But getting into, see, any university, they'll not promise you any internship. What they promise you is, okay, we'll teach you, we'll give you opportunities. Eventually, it's just you who can crack those opportunities. So I would say, if you are looking for a master's, are you planning to fill in your master's for application for fall 26?
Yeah,
Okay, can you reach out to me on WhatsApp separately, and we can talk on this.
sure, no issues in that.
All right. Thanks, Demish.
Thank you.
So next, okay, so before I go even deeper, can you write in the chat section yes or no? Are you guys interested in a bootcamp for quant finance? I just wanted to understand this thing. Like, can you please put it in the chat section? Like, if this is something that you are looking at. Because see, the thing is, I know the issue in India is, first is they're charging really a high amount for teaching you quant finance. That's the biggest issue. Second thing is they don't start from scratch. They assume that you already know XYZ thing, and then they start, let's say, ABC. So are you guys looking for quant finance? Okay. Okay. This is just for my understanding if you guys are looking for a boot camp or not. Okay. Okay, so definitely see a couple of response. Okay. So I'm just curious, like, um Okay, so we'll take this, when I close the recording, I can take this as a separate topic for like the Quant Finance Bootcamp, because I really wanted to talk to you about all of this. But let me take all other questions and I'll come to the bootcamp thing. So stay till the end. So I have few more minutes. I guess 5-10 minutes. I'll take. I guess I see Sumit Hunch. Sumit. I yeah. Hi, Sumit.
Hello, भैया, I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible, Sumit.
Yeah, I'm in my second year mechanical engineering DTU.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to ask, is DSA required for quant trader role? Because in India, most of the HFTs ask DSA in interview.
That's the biggest, surprise. Why would a trader know DSA? Trader is just to implement the strategy or
Yes,
come
yes.
up with the strategy. Why would someone like a quant trader would require DSA? If that has been asked, I would say that is the stupidest thing any high frequency trading firm can do. I do not know if the answer if they do or not. But from my
But-
understanding, if you're a quant developer or a quant researcher, it still makes sense. But
Okay,
if you're aiming for a quant trader, what they should ask is more on probability, more questions on mathematics, all this problem solving questions or questions on derivatives, because that is where most of the firms deal with in India. So I would say focus, channelize your energy on all these three topics: probability, problem solving, this puzzle solving or problem solving, and then third thing is understanding derivatives and risk management.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Jinky. So next is Arnab Sinha.
Hi, Mahul.
I know.
Thanks for this session. It's quite late in the US. I'm in my second semester at NYU Tandon, MS Financial Engineering.
Mhm.
I just wanted to know, like, from all the interviews that you must have given, like, what kind of quant projects was like most frequently discussed among all the ones that you must have like mentioned in your resume?
See, the thing is, interviews in US, they are totally focused on your resume. So
Hmm.
let's say if you have done a lot of projects towards portfolio side, they'll ask you all those projects. So it's never about like if you have not mentioned anything, they would not ask you. So that's the biggest difference between how interviews are happen in India versus in USA. They'll only ask you they want to test you what you have written in your resume, in your resume, at least from US, where if you are in US. So make sure, but if you are asking me what kind of projects should you do, I would say focus on Black-Scholes, binomial tree, value at risk modeling, focus on stochastic interest rate modeling, stochastic volatility modeling, do one project on bond pricing, do one project on modeling yield curves. So these are certain important topics which I feel you can get a good interview calls with.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you so much.
All right. So next I see Gagan.
Hello, hi, Mehul.
Hi Gagan.
Yeah, so I'm like 2025 fall incoming student at Fordham University. Obviously, MSK, of course.
Mhm.
And like now, I have a lot of time. I have a full summer break. I mean, although I'm a full-time working employee in India, but still I have a time.
Yeah.
So, what do you suggest? Like, I am already enrolled in Krishna X course. They started some new boot camp, so I enrolled myself in that and learning data science and machine learning.
Okay.
And obviously I mean you know the US market scenario, right? So I don't want to waste my money and energy and effort, so I am trying to tap all of the three roles: trader, I mean quant trader as well, quant developer as well, and this quant researcher as well. And you can say like I have a background in all of the three roles, little background in all of the three roles. So that's why I want to tap all three domains in a single shot.
I mean,
So what do you?
there's no way you can do that, because all the three requires three different skill set. If you are coming
Yeah.
if you are coming for a quant developer, they would highly require you to have C++ knowledge. They'll just test you. They won't even ask you finance. Leave finance aside. They'll just ask you C++. So, and if you're going in a trading role, they'll only ask you probability, permutation, combination, at least in US. Okay. So first of all, you cannot target all the three with just one resume. You have to have multiple resumes. And I would say like
Mhm.
make sure that study this book, John C. Hull, Options, Futures and Derivatives by John C. Hull or Paul Wilmoth on quantitative finance. Start studying that book, that will help you.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the book is 800 pages, so is there any shorter version of that?
No. Sad.
Okay.
Yeah, at least start. No, I mean, start with certain chapters, right? I mean, um, yeah, start with certain chapters, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions you guys have? Okay. So Lavanya, I see Lavanya Suresh raising her hand.
Hi, Mahul. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the session. I have 10 years of experience in investment banking, so
Oh,
I kind of know the topics behind all of this.
right.
And I recently enrolled myself in Northeastern University for
Mhm.
data analytics. So I learned Python and machine learning, everything. I My question is how to land on a internship on Quant, being in US Boston, Northeastern University. I'm coming for a 2025 fall batch. It's a hybrid mode. I've already completed 8 months in India, another 15 months in Boston. So I'm very interested in Quant.
I would
I
say,
just
yeah, I would say focus on your, because like, you are coming from investment bank. I guess you already know I'm not sure if you already know derivatives, fixed
yes,
income. You already know, right?
yes,
Make sure, like,
yes.
make sure you highlight all those stuffs in your resume. Please make sure don't highlight any data science stuff, because that's like, there are so many data scientists in USA who are jobless. So don't even go to that route. Okay, applying for data science routes, don't even go. I would say if you have a very strong background, come towards quant finance in general. So I would say make sure whatever your app, your you have your work experiences, make sure add some derivative pricing projects in your, like, in your, let's say, whatever let's say Boston University, your Northeastern University, whatsoever you mentioned, add certain
Correct.
derivative pricing projects in your resume, and then apply with that resume, and I'm sure you'll get great interviews. All right, so so one last person I'll take, Kostub.
Hello, where I've been waiting for 30 minutes. Can I please ask
Yeah, okay,
question?
please, Priyanshu, please ask. Yeah.
Where in past 7 to 8 months, I have exploring the HFT area. So
Mhm.
I studied market microstructures,
Mhm.
also rented the 7 year Binance and in Singapore, but neither I'm getting any internship calls. Also, but after seeing your videos, I got to know about that book, John C. Hill.
Right.
So I started reading its chapter, but there I see there's no, it's all different from the HFT and that part, that
Yeah,
quant
yeah,
finance.
I
It's
agree. I
all
agree. It is not for HFTs. I see in general, this book, Quant Trading by Ernest Chen. I would highly recommend reading that book, because if you are aiming for HFTs, I would say, and there's this market macrostructure book also. If it's very famous book, ask ChatGPT, that will give you. So I would say if you are focusing on more on HFT side, John C. Hill in general would not help you that much, because that will definitely teach you the derivatives and risk management. But when
yeah.
you're aiming for HFTs, they want you to come up with trading strategies, right? So understanding, like, what does even a trading strategy look like, that is also important. Read this book on quant trading by Ernest Chan, and there's the second book by Ernest Chan, which is algorithmic trading. So I would say read those books. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so that's all, guys. Let me stop this recording, and let me, this. But thank you everyone for joining. First of all, I'm not, ending this session, but I'm at least stopping the recording.